The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Preps Plus is brought to you by Boston Store. The Goodwill sale begins Wednesday, September 16th. Bring your gently used clothing donations to Boston Store and receive coupons for each item donated. And by Fredericton, the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, a leading provider of comprehensive sports-based training and therapy.
We're at Homestead High School in Mequon, home of the Highlanders, and this week, home to Preps Plus. Hi, I'm Mark Stewart, prep editor of the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel.
And I'm Lance Allan. From today's TMJ4, we'll see the Homestead football team in action, plus a couple of prime time matchups. We start this episode on the tennis courts with a young lady who impresses her teammates and opponents alike with her skills and sportsmanship.
Brad Preeter explains as we meet our Boston Store featured student athlete.
Well, my dad is a tennis pro, so he started me like in little tennis groups with other kids when I was little, and I started around age 5.
Rachel Anderson says she started playing in tournaments when she was about 10. Now, as a high school sophomore, that experience shows.
She shows the tenacity of a very good, skilled young athlete that's, I think, going to go further in tennis than she anticipates right now.
Last fall, as a freshman, Anderson advanced to the state tournament, where she was beaten by a senior who was undefeated at the time. St. Catherine's coach Dave Mooney says Rachel has excellent skills with the racket, along with the ability to recognize and attack an opponent's weaknesses. But the coach is just as impressed with Rachel's sportsmanship. He described a recent match in which Rachel won easily, then stuck around to chat with her opponent afterward.
Usually the girls get off the court, go to the coaches, go to their moms, dads, whatever, go back to their teams. And she spent 10 or 15 minutes just talking with the other young lady there from the other school about things that are going on in high school, social events, et cetera, et cetera. So it shows great sportsmanship between two good athletes. And that's the kind of young people that I like to see and coach here in tennis.
Rachel wasn't even sure which opponent her coach was referring to, maybe because to her it was just a friendly conversation.
She's very nice, and she's nice to everyone.
Rachel, who's also a very good student, gets credit for her demeanor on the court, but she admits that as a competitive athlete, it can be tough to always look positive.
Sportsmanship is important, but it's also hard to do while you're on the court. When you're losing, it's hard to keep that mentality.
In those instances when Rachel is struggling, which doesn't seem to happen too often, she tries not to get too upset.
I just have to tell myself that I have to step back for a couple seconds and breathe, because if I stay angry at myself, it doesn't work.
While Rachel works very hard at her game, she'll also take the time to have some fun here at practice, hanging around with teammates and doing the kind of things that teenage girls like to do, like take selfies. With a few players missing this practice due to injury or illness, everyone else was able to fit into this shot. Rachel appears to enjoy being part of this close-knit group and also wants to inspire them to improve.
She's very supportive, she's very dedicated, and she really loves tennis. You can tell in how she plays, and she always tries to push us harder and harder to do better.
We wish Rachel and the rest of her Angels teammates the best of luck this season.
Right now, here's Rachel accepting her award from Boston Store.
Rachel, on behalf of Boston Store, I'm proud to present you with the Preps Plus Student Athlete of the Week Award. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Ty Montgomery of the Green Bay Packers. Watch Preps Plus every Sunday night on TMJ4.
Wow. I love it.
Perfect.
Boston Store, your style.
No matter what your schedule, personality, or lifestyle. Our primary care providers do everything possible to make every day a little healthier. It all begins by listening and getting to know you. It's about convenience with flexible hours and locations near you. And it's about connections linking you to the power of academic medicine right in your community. For a primary care provider who gets you, get to us.
We're back at Homestead High School in the Highlanders' beautiful new football field on the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Preps Plus. Homestead has a great rivalry with neighboring Germantown, and this is always a tough game, Mark.
And it certainly helps that these teams are usually tough on the gridiron. Let's check them out in the Preps Plus highlights.
Homestead and Germantown may hold an intense rivalry, but they also shared a common bond Friday night. Each team's student section dressed patriotically on the anniversary of 9/11. Both teams came in 2-1 overall and 1-0 in the North Shore Conference. The Highlanders strike first. Eric Zeller's pass is tipped up into the air, but Jack Pop pulls it down and then gets popped, but he's over the stripe, 7-0 Homestead. Homestead's defense was tough early on. Jake Bruner seemed to be all over that new field turf. He breaks up this pass intended for Connor Edmonds. Second quarter, G-Town's Nate Seymour drops back to pass. He'll end up having to run it, and it's a big gainer. Seymour would punch it in himself a couple plays later to tie the game at 7. Homestead going to the air again. This time, the pass is picked off by Connor Stoming, giving the Warhawks great field position, and they would take advantage. On fourth down for Germantown, Nate Seymour airs it out. Watch Bradley Zakowski work for position and pull it in. Great effort there. He's in. It's 14-7 Warhawks. Homestead responds with a march of its own, and Matt Winters caps it off just before halftime. It's 14 apiece. Third quarter on play action, it's Nate Seymour to Austin Moston. Great spin move here. Nice play will set up the go-ahead touchdown, 21-14 Warhawks. Homestead answers in the fourth quarter, and again it's Matt Winters capping off a drive, the second of his 3 touchdowns on the night. The Highlander kicker is ready to tie this one up, but who wants to tie a game when you can take the lead? It's a fake, and it works. Matt Gresham hauls in the pass for 2, 22-21 Highlanders. Germantown's offense stays loose. For the second time in the game, Nate Seymour connects with Bradley Zakowski on a fourth down play for a touchdown. 27-22 Warhawks. They're not done. Next possession, it's a huge hole up the middle for Austin Mosden. He'll outrun everyone. Germantown goes on to the 34-29 victory. A sweet triumph in this rivalry. They improve to 2-0 in the North Shore Conference.
Brad does a great job going up and getting the ball and fighting for it. And when you got a receiver like that, a lot of good things can happen. You know, Nate put the ball right in where it needed to be, and that was awesome. You know, going forward, I told the guys, you know, I got the utmost confidence in them. We're going to go for it on fourth down. We're going to stop them on fourth down. So that's how we played today.
One of the feel-good stories so far early on in the season is at Wauwatosa West. The Trojans are 3-0, and they've done it in dramatic fashion. 2 weeks ago at Grafton, they rallied for a fourth-quarter win, and last week they were down 20-0 at Pewaukee, only to rattle off 27 unanswered points. Friday night, Tossa West eyeing up 4-0 as they travel to New Berlin Eisenhower. Before kickoff, a somber and solemn moment of silence in remembrance on the anniversary of the attacks on our country, September 11, 2001. Once things got started, Ike got the ball and got a big play. Sam Carey passes to Jake Rostas, who simply won't go down, breaks a bunch of Trojan tackles, and is off to the races, 57 yards, 7-0 Lions after 1. Tossa West answers with a big play of their own. On 3rd and 20, Rayvon Bartlett to a streaking Kobe Vines. 59 yards on that score, and we're tied at 7. A flurry of action in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Ike drives right back down the field. Pretty good play fake, and Joey Scafidi scores. But with 19 seconds left in the half, West ties it again. Bartlett to Javari Jackson, 17-yard touchdown, 14 apiece, going to the break. At halftime, members of Eisenhower's 1995 state championship team honored at midfield. The Lions get the ball to start the third, and another lengthy drive pays off. Scaffidi's second TD, he rushed for 103 yards, 21-14 Ike. We go to the fourth, and with the Trojans' track record, you figure they're right where they want to be. But they could not move the ball in the second half. Bartlett picked off by Bryce Westling. Then, 2 minutes to go, Bartlett winds up, but the ball goes backwards. Freshman Mark Shields makes the recovery for the Lions, whose defense makes the plays to seal the game. Last chance for West. Bartlett sacked by Jake Rostas. Eisenhower moves to 3-1. West falls to 3-1 after Ike beats the Trojans 21-14.
You go to any level of football and it starts with your run defense. And I think the way we got exposed a little bit in the run game last week got us better. You know, it forced us to go back to practice and get to work on some things that we need to get better at.
This was a huge game to win because we're a team that can make a big run in the playoffs, especially this year. So I think getting the momentum from this game will carry us into the rest of the year.
Last fall, both Arrowhead and Waukesha West reached the state finals with both teams earning second-place finishes.
And Mark, these two squads entered the matchup undefeated. Let's roll the Preps Plus Game of the Week.
With all the talent in the Classic 8 this season, it seems like there's a Game of the Week every week, and tonight is no exception. Arrowhead, the number 2 team in the state D1 poll, hosting Waukesha West, the top team in Division 2. An overflow crowd in Heartland was sporting a lot of red, white, and blue in honor of 9/11, and the Warhawks fed off that emotion. Wolverine QB Connor Blunt is pulled down by Noah Harvey and Jake Powell for a big loss. They later miss a field goal. It didn't take long for the Arrowhead offense to get in gear. Nick Bastine turns it up the field, and he is headed our way. This covers 52 yards in all. Hawks in business. Johnny Duranzo calls his own number, and he backs into the end zone, 7-0 Arrowhead. But a fast answer from West. Here, Peter McCudden takes it in from 4 yards out. We are even at 7 apiece. Next possession, the Wolverines try some trickery on 4th down, but the pass falls incomplete, and Arrowhead takes full advantage of the field position. Duranzo caps the march with this quick strike to Tyler Jones, 14-7 Warhawks at halftime. Third quarter, Arrowhead goes to the hurry-up offense, and it works to perfection. Bastine here with 14 of his 166 yards on the night. Here's a call you don't see too often, if at all. Bastine appears to score on this short plunge a few plays later, but Nels Anderson is called for assisting the runner into the end zone. Not a problem on this night for the Warhawks. 2 plays later, Duranzo to Andy Miller, who crosses the plane. Arrowhead up 21-7, and that Warhawk momentum is hard to stop. Next possession, Duranzo gets loose again. Even a face mask penalty can't stop him as he carries Wolverines for extra yardage. Later, it's Bastine capping the drive with his second score. Arrowhead with an impressive 35-7 pasting of Waukesha West as they continue their march through the Classic 8.
Oh, I think it's pretty big. We always got things to work on. The team came out fast. The goal this week was have more intensity than them. I thought we did that.
West is a heck of a team. It's every game at every level tends to be just a dogfight. And this, the score's a little bit misleading. We just kind of got a few at the end. It feels good to beat them.
Hey, I'm J.R. Radcliffe from Lake Country Publications and Now Newspapers. How many football players from the state of Wisconsin can you name on NFL rosters in Week 1? Find out when you play the Brain Blitz, our weekly puzzle challenge at Push for the Playoffs, located at mycommunitynow.com/push. Your home for all things local football includes much more on the Arrowhead Waukesha West battle Friday night. The coverage doesn't stop Fridays. You can follow Preps Plus on social media. We'll be right back.
Boston Store celebrates Milwaukee. Join us as we celebrate over 115 years as your hometown department store, with fashion events, giveaways, and activities going on at our Mayfair Mall store and our other Milwaukee area locations. Now through October 3rd, visit bostonstore.com/celebratemke for a listing of events and celebrate with us. Boston Store, your style.
You can run.
You can eat right.
You can join a club.
You can get a checkup.
Of all the decisions you make to stay healthy, one decision can make it all possible. Choosing the Freidirt and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network as your partner. We have the providers you need in locations close to you, all connected to one of the nation's leading academic medical centers. Learn how to be stronger together with us at freidirt.com/onedecision.
Packers rookie Ty Montgomery grew up in a unique situation in Dallas, one that he learned a lot of life lessons from.
Green Bay's third-round draft pick is our guest this week as we present From Preps to Pros.
I feel like I'm a little weird sometimes, and I don't mind saying that. I'm confident in myself, but I don't like to let a lot of things bother me. I like to keep a good attitude about everything, good sense of humor. I like to laugh things off.
Ty Montgomery's personality is no doubt shaped by his upbringing. Growing up in Dallas, Montgomery didn't have brothers or sisters, but his mom brought in 17 foster brothers over the years. Ty formed bonds with them and still keeps in touch with at least a couple of them.
Definitely taught me to be a lot more selfless, because before that I was an only child, and then I wanted a lot of brothers, and I ended up getting more than I could even imagine. And there was definitely a lot of diversity in the home, especially culturally, guys coming from multiple backgrounds, multiple family situations. Basically the person I am is because of my mom. She's very independent. She sets a high standard for herself. She's a go-getter. She likes to be diverse in everything that she does. She doesn't like to be good at one thing. She likes to be great at everything that she does. And she likes to sort of lead from the background. Yeah, I could go on and on.
Montgomery says there were definitely challenges to overcome while he was growing up.
You know, I had my foster brother situation. We had moved in multiple houses. My mom was in real estate. And a lot of the kids I went to school was a private school, first 12th all-boys school. It's a very upper-class neighborhood. So it was a little tough for me fitting in, and you know, getting the grades, it was tough, but ended up coming out on top, graduating, going to Stanford.
Montgomery excelled on the field at Stanford while earning his degree in political science. His experiences in the past may be helping Montgomery adjust to life in the pros.
Pro is someone that wakes himself up in the morning. They don't need an extra push from anyone, but they also can accept criticism, constructive criticism when necessary. They push the other people around them, and they never lower the standard for themselves or for anyone else around them.
The volleyball team at Whitnall High School is off to a great start this season. There's a lot of excitement surrounding the squad that has athleticism, experience, and leadership.
We're proud to have the newest member of the Preps Plus team, Allie Dudek, introduce our Team of the Week.
The Whitnall girls volleyball team is definitely a force to be reckoned with this season. This senior-heavy team, already 3-0, is setting themselves up well for a conference victory. With multiple strong hitters and high expectations, the Falcons are confident about mixing up their offensive strategy.
We've started a new offense this year. We're doing a 3-middle offense, which is something Whitnall has never done before. So our first few games have been really just trying out the new offense and figuring out how it goes for us, and it went pretty well. Having so many seniors on the team, we just have a lot of advantages of having girls who've already played a lot before. There are 4 of us who are on the team since our freshman year, so we already have 3 years in the passive experience.
And with a more experienced team, Whitnall is aware their opponents can expect to see an all-around stronger team this season.
I think we have a really good chance of winning conference this year. We have already beat 2 of our conference teams. I honestly think we have a good chance of winning our regional and sectional and hopefully making it to state. But I have high expectations for the team, and I think we'll all succeed at it.
Well, the Falcons seem to be on the right path for a conference title and beyond. But outstanding talent isn't the only quality driving this team. Becca, in particular, believes vocal leadership helps this team stay positive.
Come on, girls, let's go! Well, volleyball is really based on energy. The louder you are, the more you put the other team down. And I just love being a leader and being loud, and I lose my voice a lot, so it's okay, but I think it really helps the team come together and just work together, be positive, no one can be down, and just be loud.
I really feel energy is the big thing for me, always being loud, active, encouraging everybody. So, yes, making the big plays.
Go, go, reload, reload, reload.
Coach Todd Smith realizes his team's great athletic ability and plans on utilizing their potential with the new 3-middle offensive system.
To match up our personnel with an offensive system that would work. So we went to a triangle offense so that we could get the most effective hitters on the floor at the time. I try and match my expectations to what the girls have for themselves, and then I push them towards what they initially wanted. They've been pushing since they were sophomores for a conference title, and it's always eluded us. So this year, their focus is a conference title, so they're working hard, as you've seen today, to try and reach the goal. With this team, they've worked so hard. It's so senior-dominated that the expectations are so high.
Team chemistry is equally as important as developing talent, according to Coach Smith. The Falcons are focused on winning that conference title with big goals to make state. Congratulations, Whitnall Volleyball, for being Preps Plus Team of the Week.
Stick around, we've got more volleyball on the way.
It's a big-time boys volleyball matchup coming up.
Wow. I love it.
Perfect. Boston Store. Your store, your style.
What if, instead of having one cancer doctor, you had a team of specialists looking at you from every angle? That's what Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin's Cancer Network gives you. Researchers, surgeons, chemotherapy, radiation, and genetic experts, every point of view, getting you the right diagnosis right away, giving you more options, involving you in every decision, and turning what ifs into what is possible.
It's important for an athlete to eat properly on game day so they feel energized and their muscles are ready to work. An athlete needs adequate carbohydrate and protein throughout the day, and that does start with breakfast. So at breakfast, they could do cereal and milk, which does have the carbs as well as the protein in it. They could also do cereal, fruit, and yogurt, which also gives them those elements. At lunch, they could do a sandwich with maybe some pretzels and fruit. And then before the game, they want to do more carbohydrate and a little bit of protein, which could be, again, cereal, fruit, and yogurt. Hydration is really important before a game, and that does start at breakfast. At breakfast, they should take in about 16 to 24 ounces of fluid. At lunch, 16 to 24 ounces. And right before the game, about 8 to 12 ounces. Hydration is really important post-game, and that could look like chocolate milk, which has carbohydrate and protein in it for proper refueling.
For more information, visit freighter.com/sports.
Football may be the most popular fall spectator sport, but a good volleyball match can be a blast to watch.
Scott Babler checked out a meeting of two hard-hitting squads in the Preps Plus Spotlight.
New Berlin United is a team on a mission. Last year they got to the state championship, losing in the final to Marquette in 5 tough games, the last game just 15-13. Tonight they get an early season showdown with Brookfield East. The Spartans were also strong last year, but lost 7 seniors 3 of which are playing Division I this fall. New Berlin was also down a man as star Matt Zeski was out with injury, but there was no shortage of excitement in this one. East in the home white, United with a solid start. Adam Campbell with the set and Quinn Farrell with the cross-court winner, 9-6 New Berlin. But East storms back. Nick Watry goes high for this slam between 2 defenders. Spartans now up 7. Then on game point, Stephen Craninger's shot is a bit too long. The Spartans prevail in game 1, 25-17. On to game 2, and United gains some momentum. Here, Farrell's drive is too hot to handle for Watry, 14-12 New Berlin. The Spartans answer, Danny Butler with this smash. We are now even at 17. Later, it's Tyler Parker going way up for this monster kill, 21-20 Brookfield East. Then it's Parker again. This time he goes left for the pinpoint winner. The game is now tied at 23. On the game point, and Kyle Craninger's shot is just inches too strong. The Spartans take game 2, 25-23. Game 3 saw United come out firing. Craninger finds an opening. New Berlin up 3. But East will rally. Craninger with the smash, but Watry with the rejection. 21-17 Spartans. United will not go away. Farrell winds up and drives home the winner. This game is tied at 23 apiece. But United cannot handle this bullet from Jacob Cerny, and the Spartans are 1 point away. Finally on game point, Farrell's strike is just wide. It wasn't easy, but Brookfield East takes down New Berlin in 3 straight games. The Spartans looking for bigger things down the road.
It's definitely a good feeling to beat a team like this, and it really helps going forward because we know we can.
We have a pretty young team, but I think that the young players especially are doing a good job about stepping up and taking responsibility for some of the positions that we've lost since last year.
Ultimately, everyone, in high school volleyball, it's playing for November and getting ready for November, and it's a long ways off. And it's just about using this as a test, and then to go forward and hopefully build on to get better.
Don't forget, Preps Plus comes on every Sunday night following football and the local news here on today's TMJ4.
We're glad you joined us this week, and of course, we hope you make it a weekly occurrence. Till next time, I'm Mark Stewart.
And I'm Lance Allen. See you next week on Preps Plus.
The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Preps Plus is brought to you by Boston Store. The Goodwill sale begins Wednesday, September 16th. Bring your gently used clothing donations to Boston Store and receive coupons for each item donated. And by Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, a leading provider of comprehensive sports-based training and therapy.